Ryan, as a guy that has a real personal relationship with Jones in terms of professional, I said some things back in 2017 before we fought the second time. I spoke to mistakes and how when you make mistakes, they change you. Jones obviously doesn't learn from the mistakes, but I also take a bit of responsibility because I think in a lot of situations, Ryan, you learn when you have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps.
Mm-hmm.
And I said on the countdown show before the fight, the way John Jones makes changes is by losing to me. I didn't beat him.
Mm.
Chael Sonnen didn't beat him.
Right.
So many people didn't beat him. We never forced him to look in the mirror and evaluate his behaviors outside because all the bad behavior still led to success.
Right.
And so why change it? Why change it? It's unfortunate.
You know, I know. We've talked about this whole John Jones thing, but I think the point that DC made here definitely needs to be explored a little bit because I find it very, very interesting, and I promise we'll move on. We'll definitely move on from John Jones, but right here, DC talks about how he believes that the first step to making changes when you keep making mistakes and mistakes and mistakes is you gotta find yourself at rock bottom. You gotta find yourself in a situation where you have to rebuild yourself. In other words, you have to lose. You gotta lose something that means the world to you. And when you take a look at John Jones, according to what DC says, which is very, very true, John Jones truly has not lost. Now, you could say he's been arrested, he has lost his belt, but John Jones, the one thing that John prides himself on the most, if you listen to the way he talks, is the fact that he is unbeaten inside of that octagon. Every single man that has ever stepped into the octagon versus John Jones has lost. Yeah, I know you guys are going to talk about Matt Hamill. You'll talk about the fact that the fights that John Jones, should have lost where his opponents got robbed. That's part of it. That's all part of it. Now, he could say the one time that I ended up with an L on my record is a fight that I was dominating. I was whooping this dude. I was destroying him, and I made a mistake and ended up with an L. But I didn't get beat up. John Jones can say I've never lost to a man in that octagon. I've never gone out there and got my ass absolutely whooped so badly that I ended up losing the fight. And when that is the case, you start to ask yourself if you're John Jones, because he said this before. He believes he was put on this planet to do one thing, and that is to fight. Now, this thing where he constantly talks about God and God and God, I know to a lot of people it looks fake. I don't think John Jones is faking it. I don't think he's faking his love for God or whatever, his belief in God. Because he truly does believe in it. And I think he believes in it to an extent where it's actually hurting him without him realizing. Because John, he truly believes that perhaps God has a special notification with the name John Jones written on it, where anytime there's anything John Jones related, God drops everything he's doing to go attend to John Jones. He truly believes that there's a battle consistently going on up there in heaven, in the universe or whatever, between the devil and between God for John Jones. He truly believes this, that God and the devil are consistently over and over fighting. The devil tests John Jones, God comes and saves him. The devil tests him, God saves him. He believes that God truly is consistently over and over again interfering in his life and helping him out to win. Every time he goes out, John Jones will not train. He'll party. He'll show up out of shape and still win. When you're him, you look at yourself and you go, that can't possibly be me. Because I'm fighting other mixed martial artists, other world champions, guys who spend hours in the gym every day training, guys who've been watching me for a very long time, guys who've developed a whole entire game plan around beating me. And I slack off in training, I barely show up, I drink the whole entire weekend, and I still show up and I not only beat these guys, but I dominate them. That's not me working, that's God. Because what I'm doing is superhuman. What I'm doing should not be possible for a human being to be doing. That's gotta be God. I'm Samson. I'm Samson. I'm Samson who was able to tear a lion's mouth to shreds. I'm Samson. I'm Samson who was able to push down the whole entire temple with the power of God. I'm Samson. I'm Samson who was able to destroy and brutally murder 100 soldiers with the jawbone of a donkey. I'm Samson. This is, when I think about, this is what he truly believes. And you'll hear him say stuff like that. I believe I was truly put on this planet to do one thing, and that is to fight. God is behind me all the way. He puts a Bible verse on his chest. And every single time he goes out there and does something that should absolutely 100% lead to him losing a fight, he doesn't. He doesn't. He wins. And so, according to what DC is saying, a very good step in the right direction for him would probably be for that illusion to get shattered. Someone has to shatter that illusion. Someone needs to shatter that illusion and make Jon Jones understand that no, it's not God, bro. It's not God. It really is just you. It really is just you. It's not God. God is not behind you. God is not supporting you. God is not dropping everything he's doing to run to your aid every single time you do something that should lead you. I mean, it's not God. It's just you. You're a special athlete in a weight class where no one has quite reached your level yet. You're a very special athlete, a once-in-a-lifetime style athlete. That's just what it is. You have incredible gifts that no one else has. That's literally what it is. It's not God. God is not the one that is, manipulating the world around you to make sure that you succeed and you reach this higher goal. It's just, it's just you. And someone needs to go out there and beat him. Now, who is it going to be? I have no idea. Make no mistake. That is not going to be an easy task. To find someone that's going to go out there and humble Jon Jones, that's not an easy task. Now, we could all say, oh, it's going to be Francis Ngannou. Are you sure about that? Don't be too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that. I haven't forgotten, just because I'm off the Jon Jones train, doesn't mean I've forgotten who Jon Jones is. You know what I mean? That is still probably the best fighter in the UFC. So that's a big reason why I personally think this might never end. Because what DC said is so true. The first step is somebody has got to go out there, beat him. Now, I'm not talking about just beat him by decision. No. So, or give him a hard fight. Because that's something else that feeds into the whole God is with me thing. Because, I mean, there's probably been fights where Jon should have lost and yet he won. So he could rationalize that and go, that's God. I mean, has to be God. Because, I mean, I probably should have lost that fight, but God said, no, you're not going to lose that fight. I'm going to make sure you win. So someone needs to go out there and do something that Jon Jones, believes to be impossible. Because he has said himself, Jon has said himself, during the time period when he was about to fight Alexander Gustafsson, he truly believed he could not lose. Do you understand? Do you understand how your mind has to work for you to look at yourself and think that? You literally got to be Kal-El. You got to be Superman to look at yourself and go, I literally cannot lose. I literally cannot lose. And why wouldn't Jon think that? He hasn't lost. Not only has he not lost, no one has been able to put Jon Jones on his ass. No one has been able to Boom! Crack him in the jaw. Send him spiraling. Oh my God. John Jones is now on. He's about to be finished. John Jones is hurt. John is hurt. And the fighter is teeing off on John Jones and he's having to dig deep to survive. He's never been in that situation ever. He's been hit with bombs and boom, he gets hit with a bomb and he eats it. So why shouldn't he feel like he's borderline invincible in there? You know what I mean? So someone needs to go out there and shatter the illusion. Either put him away, as in knock him out cold, where there's no question you got knocked out. Or absolutely dominate him in a way that he's never been dominated from bell to bell. Not talking about just dominate him on points. No, knock him down over and over again. Cut him open, he's bleeding all over the place. Take him down, mount him. Stay on top like a Habib style beating, and in the end choke him out. That kind of beating will do something to you. It makes you go, okay, I guess the saying God. Someone goes out there, whoops his ass, grounds him, mounts him, pins him to the ground where he tries to muscle up and his strength is not working like he thought it will. Outstrikes him, submits him. He sees their hand get raised for the first time in the octagon. That will shake him to his very core, for sure. It really would. Now, who can do that? Who could it be? Ngannou could knock him out, but, I mean, John Jones knows how to fight, and he knows how to avoid shots, so let's not be too confident when it comes to that. Who could it be? I don't know, man. I don't know. But the man he definitely needs a loss. He needs something like that. He needs something like that to do what DC said, where he has to pull himself off from his bootstraps. Getting arrested on all that, it's not going to do it. Because, I mean, what happens when John gets arrested? He gets released. Big whoop. I got arrested. Big whoop. You know what I mean? It's not like he's lost all his money. He got arrested. He gets arrested. He goes back home and kicks up his feet, smokes his weed, snorts his cocaine off of hookers' butts. He doesn't care. It's like nothing that's happening to him. The UFC doesn't kick him out. They pay him millions of dollars and give him. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing really too big happening to him. He needs to lose. That's just what needs to happen. You know, and I'll leave it at that.